Welcome to Bachademia, a podcast so educational two professors could be hosting it. Hi, I'm Dr. Danielle Dick McGew, and joining me is Dr. Bill Henninger.
Hey everybody, we are on our first episode and we're going to get right into it. I'm Bill Henninger and we have
Danielle McGew.
Danielle McGew, and we are going to talk about the first episode of The Bachelor. But first off, how are you doing, Danielle?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Friday and The Bachelorette is back on TV, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I kind of felt like all of the things that I do for leisure during the pandemic were just got taken away. So I was so happy when this happened because it's like, this is at least one normal thing that I get to do.
It is.
Yeah.
Chris Harrison, I haven't seen him in so long. It feels good to be reunited.
I would say I was very jealous when they were talking about how great it was to hug. But it's like, yeah, it is. I don't we have no human contact. At least we're both married and you have kids. So like, I can't imagine what it'd be like to just have like nobody. So.
Oh yeah. I think that would be really hard. And I mean, I think that was made clear kind of in the opening of the show that the pandemic really affected the way that they did the show. And so normally they don't have as much time before finding out that they're going to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then like normally their phones get taken away right away and things like that. And so this time it was a little bit different, that it was a prolonged wait. Wasn't it like over 100 days or something?
Something like that. One of the guys said it's been X amount of days, and so.
Yeah.
All right. So we should probably introduce Clare. Do you want to do it? You want me to do it?
Sure. Let's talk about Clare. So she's been on this is her fourth different Bachelor show, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So she was on The Bachelor. She was on Bachelor in Paradise twice. One time, I believe it ended poorly. Like she left crying. And then the other time she left of her own volition. She just couldn't make it work with the guy and they left. And then she was on the Winter Games. And I apparently do have a level that I won't stoop to with stuff like this. I did not watch the Winter Games.
I've never seen the Winter Games.
Yeah. I love Olympics, love The Bachelor, but for some reason I was just like, I'm not doing this. But she got engaged to Benoit.
Yeah, and it was a big to-do, I think, though.
Yeah.
Right? So she actually broke up with him during the season.
Okay.
Dated some other guy. They got in some fight over a hot tub incident. And then when on the tell-all show, they brought her back on and Benoit proposed.
And she said yes.
And then a month later,
they just broke it off.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. Yeah, it was very and they didn't talk about it. It just totally got and I read an article and it said that we just didn't have time. And I kind of feel like that is a pretty important piece of information.
Definitely an important piece of information. Yeah. I'm going to go let my dog.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll pause the recording.
No, we're good. I was just he's scratching on the door.
Oh, yeah. Our dogs are outside and they are barking at nothing, which is really their favorite thing. So other thing about anything else, you said she talks like a yoga teacher.
She does. Interested.
I don't know what that means, but.
So I wasn't sure if I was going to like Clare because in full disclosure, all of my knowledge of Clare is from research.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's not actually
research.
I actually haven't research. I actually haven't seen any of the episodes or any of the seasons that she was on.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't sure if I would like her or not. I think in part because she seemed to always be yelling in all of the promos.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't know if I'd like her or not. And I really did. I think that she's thoughtful and mature, and I really appreciated her vulnerability throughout the show. I mean, she talked a lot about being lonely in a way that I really appreciated, and I felt like people could really empathize with. Um, but yeah, I think she has this like soothing voice that reminds me of what you would expect from like a yoga teacher, that
Okay.
there's just something that's like, and now we're going to take a deep breath together.
Up in the mountain. Hold
Yes.
it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
gotcha. Yeah. So in the Bachelor season she was on, it was with Juan Pablo, and he was a soccer player, and he was clearly not there for any long term relationship. And so at some point they went to the fantasy suite and he said something to her and it really made her mad and she left, which I always appreciated. I appreciate when people kind of take that into their own hands and are like, I'm done, instead of the like, well, maybe we can make it work, when clearly it's not going to work. So I really like that about Hannah as well.
yeah, they set boundaries and they hold them.
Yes, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We ready? Do we want to go through the guys one by one?
Absolutely. Let's talk about the guys.
Okay. And I'm going to share my screen here right now. And here we go. Can you see my screen?
I can. My favorite thing is that if you scroll up there, so they always do these pictures
Uh-huh.
where they're all in their suits on the
Yep.
first night. And
Mm-hmm.
my favorite thing is that street jacket guy, Jay, he's
Oh,
wearing his
he's
straight
in the
jacket,
straight jacket. I didn't notice that.
which is
Wow.
so like that's like so much commitment.
Yes. Yeah. We'll get to him.
Oh,
Okay.
we
So
will.
here we go. AJ. I say we alternate swipe left or swipe right.
Okay,
So
so because I'm like old and I've
yeah,
been married forever, which way means you keep them? I
I
don't
was going to
know.
ask you that same question. So I was
Imagine.
never around when the swiping thing happened. However, I do like to drink and commandeer my friends' phones and swipe for them. And so
Okay.
I think if you go right, so if you're looking at the screen, if you swipe right, that means yes. If you swipe left, that means no.
All right,
So,
that makes sense to me. Okay.
so in my drunken state, I have to remember right, 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 left, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Right,
So
right, left, no.
all right, AJ, he was a software salesman. He said he gives terrible first impression, and starting out, he crushed her hand. Uh, so which way are you going with this, Danielle? And I heard you have a really good story about this.
Well, so when I was in 6th grade, I went out with a boy. You
Mm-hmm.
know how you like would go
Right.
out with someone, but like that just didn't mean much?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the boy that I was going out with, we sat together at a basketball game and we held on to hands. And the next day he dumped me because my hands were too sweaty. So, I would have to swipe right because I feel so sorry for this guy. He needs another chance, and I know what it feels like to lose out because of sweaty hands.
Okay. Ben, he was an Army Ranger, or is an Army Ranger. He was the one who told her to take a breath. Like, just relax,
Oh
take a breath.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm swiping right. He seemed like a good guy.
definitely swipe right. That
Yep.
was awkward, and I liked it.
Yeah. Bennett. Bennett was the wealth manager who pulled up to the thing in the Rolls Royce, and he looks like every evil fiance in a Hallmark movie that's ever been made. And
Absolutely,
yeah.
I'm keeping him around. For the entertainment. There's
Okay.
no way I want them to end up together, but like I want him to stay on the show.
Gotcha.
So I'm
Okay.
swiping right.
All right. Blake, he's a male grooming specialist. I wrote nothing other than I kept getting him confused with Kenny, who is the boy band manager. And I think it's the haircut.
Yeah, I don't really he wasn't that memorable to me. So
Yeah,
I might swipe left.
I'm going left. Blake Moines.
Fast swipe right. I really like him.
Yeah. My wife was really into him, and so was my friend Kim, and I thought he seemed like a pretty cool guy.
I felt like
Uh,
he seemed so sad when he didn't get the first impression rose.
yes. Yep.
And I had a great deal of sympathy for him there.
And he did, I thought it was very nice of him to reach out, but it wasn't in like a like creepy way. It sounded like he was genuinely trying to be nice and check on her. So
Absolutely.
Brandon, real estate agent. He was the only guy to kiss her on the cheek.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I'll swipe right for him.
I'll go with you. I like that. He actually was my pick to win it. But after watching the show, I think we all know who's going to win it. And so, Brendan, commercial roofer. He was quiet. He had the bow tie. She said she liked his bow tie.
Well, as much as I like bow ties, I think I'm going to have to swipe left. He just didn't stand out to me in any way.
Yep. I agree. He's going left. Chasen showed up in the armor.
Oh, yeah. You know, which I thought was really interesting because I think that he seemed really shy
Yes.
later. I'd swipe right for him. I think he's just an introvert, and so he needs more time.
Okay. I'm a left on him. I didn't get much from him. So Chris, never said it would be easy. He was the guy who said we never said this would be easy. That's all I got for him. You got anything? Oh.
He was cheesy. He went home, I think, and I think I'd also probably send him home.
Yeah. So Dale, what do you have for notes on Dale? Because I have several notes on him.
Well, he's got an amazing smile.
Yes.
So yeah, what are your notes? I want to hear what you have to say.
So I said she looks at him like I look at a plate of onion rings. Like that is how much she like was fawning for him. Past the first impression, and so this is kind of going into the more educational side of the show. He did a really good job. He asked her about her feelings. He talked about her mom. And her mom had a fall. I think she broke her nose, and he did a really good job of asking those questions, which is interesting because he's obviously really, really good looking. He could probably just get by on his smile and not saying much, but he actually seemed like he's got some skill.
Yeah, I thought that he was really attentive. Like when she was talking, he was zeroed in on her, giving her, you know, his attention. And so there's rumors, though. People think that they knew each other before the show.
Saw that, yeah.
Do you think, like, what's your
I don't know, because she came out with the Blake guy texting her, so it was hard for me not to. And he lives in Brandon, South Dakota. Like, I guess I don't understand how but I don't know. Yeah. You're the body language expert. Let's hear it.
I don't know that I think that they did know each other. I think some people thought that because he asked about her mom, but I think that that's something that she's talked about publicly. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not sure that that means that they necessarily had to have had a relationship prior to this, or I think people think that because the rumors that the relationship moves
right.
But I don't know. I think that maybe we actually are just seeing it unfold, especially because their nonverbals with each other were incredibly awkward.
Okay.
So
yeah, give us some education. Here we go.
Give us some education. So, I mean, I think that there's a lot of signs that she's super into him. Like you said, she looks at him like a plate of fried onion rings, right? Yeah. So I think
not baked, fried. Like you're giving up on your diet and you're like, I'm just doing it. It's Friday night.
Absolutely. I mean, she couldn't, like, she was always leaning into him. Mm-hmm. But like when they hugged the first time, there was like a little bit of a who's going in, you know, when back and forth. And then when they had their first kiss, you know, she pinned the rose on him, and then they kind of hugged each other and gave each other a kiss on the cheek. And then she like wanted more. She was like reaching for him, and he was like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And then like went in for the kiss. And I thought it was adorable. Mm-hmm. And you could see also she's really animated when she's talking to him. So you can really tell. I think it's a little harder to tell on his end. He's not offering any nonverbal signs that he's not interested. But she seems way more interested.
So I have a question, and this is me just wanting to learn about stuff like this. What are some of the things she's doing to show she's really interested? Like, what are some of the signs?
So, non-verbally, there's things that you can do like leaning in, actually attentiveness. So are you paying attention? Are you making eye contact? Uh, are you touching the other person? You might also touch, like a lot of times touching your face or your neck are different signs that you're interested. Um, so she was doing a lot of those things. The thing that's really difficult about nonverbal communication is that sometimes when we're anxious or nervous because we have a crush on someone, sometimes we do the opposite thing. So
Okay.
it's like, oh, I really like this person, I'm not going to make eye
Hard to
contact.
make eye contact. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
hard to make eye contact. Or you might become even more reserved because you're nervous. And
Okay.
so even though there are these signs that you can look for, that different people still might exhibit nonverbals a little bit differently based on, what's going on with them personally.
That is awesome information. I feel like I got a free class. I would also point out, and I'm sure I do this, you definitely have a professor voice where we're talking and all of a sudden you're like, well, and I know I do it too when I'm with my friends and they're like, hey, Bill, what about Tinder? And I'm like, well, Tinder is an app that is largely based on location. It's like your professor voice and you can't turn it on.
Oh no.
No, no,
That's
it's good.
embarrassing.
It's good. People are going to love this. Are we ready to go on from Dale?
Sure. Do we
All
need?
right. DeMar.
I don't remember him.
DeMar came in with the parachute, which I
Oh.
thought was an amazing play because everybody was like, "Did you parachute in?" And he was kind of like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't know." He's also a spin instructor, and my wife, really, Elaine, who probably will make an appearance on the show sometime, she loves to go to Soul Cycle,
Oh
and
yeah.
so she's like sent me pictures of the instructors because she does a lot of traveling for her work, and they I was like, oh yeah, that guy's a Soul Cycle instructor too. Like I can see him like work out your anger on the bike.
That's awesome. And I actually think that that would pair well with Claire too, right? That
Yes. Yep.
Claire really enjoys fitness
Yeah.
and things like that.
Easy.
Easy is amazing. I
Yep.
really like Easy. His suit was amazing.
Yes.
It kept in trend with the Bachelor franchise salmon suit,
Yep.
which I really appreciated. But I just liked his energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I thought that was, and this is going to kind of some of the areas that I do research, is he said that he was a mama's boy. And she seemed to like that. I am not sure why some people think being a mama's boy or a daddy's girl is a really good thing. And that is because, and I tell people this in my classes when I talk about dating and relationships, you marry the family. And so if you have a very enmeshed family, that can get real ugly real quick. So it's always something to think about when someone's like, "Oh, I'm a mama's boy." It's like, well, do you really like your mom? Do you really love your mom? I do. Is your mom entwined in your life? That's going to be hard to extricate her when you are the most important thing in their life now.
That's, see, now I've learned something.
Yes, right. And everyone else, by the time they're done, they'll have a bachelor's degree. If they listen to this podcast every time.
Absolutely.
If we
Ed,
had any sponsors, that would have been a great time to like now for a commercial, but we don't. So
someday, things to
someday. Yeah.
aspire to. You know, I have a feeling we're going to get pretty good at this.
Yeah.
Ed, I don't remember who Ed is.
Bubble boy. He came in the
Bubble
bubble.
boy.
Yeah.
That's why, because he was always in the bubble. And apparently it was like 100 degrees.
Oh yeah. You could tell some of the guys, and I sympathize with this because I am a sweater. Like some of the guys, you could tell it was rough.
Yeah. Yeah. That's no fun.
Swiping left or right on him.
Probably left. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get much much out of him. What about Garen, a fellow professor of journalism?
Ooh, well then we have to swipe right.
Swipe right, yeah. He brought the picture of the niece, and he says he's really fun. Picture
Well,
from his niece.
oh
And she's
yeah, that was
yeah.
really sweet.
Yeah, I thought that was
That was
sweet.
great.
Oh, I'm not scrolling up here. Easy, Ed, Garen. We're on to Ivan, an aeronautical engineer from Dallas. Oh, he was the one who spoke Tagalog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his
Great.
mom's from the Philippines. I'm going right on him.
Me too.
Yeah.
He's handsome.
Yeah. Jason,
I
like,
really like Jason.
really?
Yeah.
He said, I think she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen since my mother. Which I was like, I don't know how to take that. Like that. I don't think I would say it, but
I thought that he was really geeky.
yes.
And I think that I liked that.
Okay.
So
That's your
I
type?
really,
Your
it must be my
Okay.
type. He was really excited
Yep.
and I liked his excitement and his energy. I'm not, it's a very different energy than hers.
Yes.
So, he just seemed kind of hyper and
Yeah,
excited, where she is kind of calm and has a different vibe.
I agree.
But I liked him. I thought I wanted to watch more of him.
Swiping right. Well, he stays, so we're gonna get more of him. Jay, straight jacket guy.
Dude, I can't believe he's still around.
I can't believe with how hot it was. That is, and so we had several emails and direct messages that were just like straight guy, WTF, or straight jacket guy, WTF, straight jacket guy, what? I had two thoughts. One was that was the only way he was going to get noticed, or two, he was going to do a trick and then he couldn't do it like Job from Arrested Development. And
Yeah.
it's like, he's just like, I'm just going to rock the straight jacket.
I thought it was really weird. I thought it was really, really weird. I was like, oh, now you can't hug her. You like all of these ways that it probably like, I
Didn't
don't
help him.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
thought if you're gonna do a gimmick, that's not a great one. And also, I feel like it probably makes a negative statement about people with mental health issues, like the whole straight jacket. But kudos to him for rocking it for the whole time. Even yeah,
he
I'm
was
swiping left. Good attempt, but you should be gone.
absolutely.
Jeremy, banker from Washington. He made her laugh.
He didn't really stand out to me.
No.
Apparently he's also the oldest guy,
Ever, I think, on The Bachelor is what I read.
which is wild because he's only 40.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he's only got me by 2 years.
oh my. So I don't know. Maybe we'd have to keep him around just to, for that. But I do think he did go home.
Yes. Joe, the anesthesiologist from New York.
He didn't really stay with me.
I thought he was so nice. He was the guy that he was like, everyone's so nice and we're all getting along. And then he made origami for her.
Oh yeah,
I'd keep him. He
yeah.
seemed
I keep Joe now.
Yep. Jordan C. Popcorn. He brought the popcorn.
I loved Easy's comment about it being a potluck. I love that. So I think that Jordan C is the most attractive of all the men
Okay.
here. I think he's just really cute.
Okay.
But in terms of personality, I didn't get much from him.
He stayed, so maybe you'll get to see more of the personality.
Maybe.
But so interesting thing about, we talk about attractiveness, the research would suggest that attractiveness is one of those things that is universal for the most part. So if you go on the international scale of attractiveness rating, 0 to 10, I don't know if it's really an international scale, but everyone knows. So if you're a 1, you're not very attractive. If you're a 10, you're like, Beyonce, Ryan Gosling, something like that. That's pretty universal. So if somebody is attractive in another country, you'll find them attractive there. And then people have like individual preferences. So I also think the thing to remember is like all of these guys or all of the girls when they do The Bachelor are all really attractive. Like, I don't think I've ever seen one where I've been like, wow, that's just, yeah. So,
Yeah. Most of the time they do the work to bring attractive people onto the show.
yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
well, I was gonna just say too, what's really interesting is in some of the nonverbal research, and it says, that we typically do form our opinions of people within like the first 30 seconds of meeting them.
Okay.
So that a lot of times within that first 30 seconds, we've established some sort of a judgment about them.
Okay. Interesting. Jordan M, cybersecurity. He started off the show with the really short pants and no socks, which I got tons of comments about, like, why is nobody wearing socks and why are their pants so tight and short? He said he was a tall drink of water, and he was actually my pick. Like, if I was like, who's the most attractive person here? I said him. So
I liked him. I can't believe that he went home and Straight Jacket Guy is still here.
yeah. Kenny, boy band Kenny.
Oh, so I have so much. One, I think he looks like a villain,
Okay.
a different type of villain than
Yes.
Bennett,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But so I was doing a little bit of research,
Uh-huh.
and not only, I mean, he is a boy band manager, but he is a manager of a cover band that covers boy bands, which is like so fantastic.
Yes. I wrote that I would probably, in an alternate universe, him and I are the same age and we're 22 and we have gotten in a fight at a bar. Like, him and I would lock eyes and it would just not go well. Not that I'm much of a fighter, but it's just like, I can just see him and I like in a social circle and me just being like, I just don't like this guy.
I'm with you. Let's swipe
But,
left.
Mike from Calgary, he brought her the slippers.
That's nice.
Yeah, I thought that was nice. That's all I got. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Paige. Paige had the tattoos, and my wife's comment was, he looks worse and worse from the beginning to the end, which I did read that apparently those rose ceremonies take like forever. Like, they start at night and it's like 6 a.m. when they're done.
Yeah.
So I feel like he probably was just really tired. He also had a lot of tattoos. He was the one at the end who showed his heart tattoo and said, I didn't want to show her my heart literally, which I feel like he meant figuratively. But the guy got sent home, so will not, yeah.
Did you read that the tattoo on his hand said soup nuts?
I did, I did, which is amazing as well.
I'm just like a little bummed that he went home because like I want to know what that means.
Yeah. Maybe he's nuts about soup.
We're
Like,
gonna be left wondering.
yeah. And sometimes, that's the best thing.
Indeed.
Yeah, a story with no ending. Riley, he was the attorney. He was the one who said, I find you guilty of looking beautiful.
Oh, that was so cringy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cringy. Mm-mm.
Have any of those gimmicks ever worked? Like what is your best bet about the gimmicks? Like, we were having this discussion, Elaine and I, and then some of my friends by text.
Do you think they do it because they think they'll be remembered by the Bachelor or the Bachelorette? Or do you think that it's like, hey, if I don't stay on this show for that long, I'm gonna make sure that people remember me?
I think it's a memorable thing, and there's research around, like, it's important to be, people who aren't memorable are not going to get a second look, like if they're in the dating scenario. But it's better to be memorable in a good way than do something like really cringeworthy, or like, research on pickup lines is that they don't work really well, and these are just like visual pickup lines. You're better off making a like strong hello and a compliment, and being remembered for that, than walking in a chainmail suit, or so
Yeah.
like the slippers, like that was a really good, in my
A nice
opinion.
gesture. A nice
Yes.
gesture.
Robbie, he said he was super excited. That's all I have.
Yeah, he wasn't very memorable. See, I guess that's true.
Swipe left.
Bam.
Tyler C.
Ooh, a lot happening with Tyler C.
Yeah, he's the lawyer from Morgantown. He ratted out Yusuf to Clare, which we did a poll. We did a poll on Twitter, and everyone said he should have done that. So even though the guys on the show, like, it seems like the person who gets ratted out doesn't like it, but everyone else is like, oh yeah, rat him out. Like,
I think the thing that I struggle with is I think that he should have said something, but was this the time to do it? And I don't know.
yeah,
Like, I struggle because if you wait, then you waited on it.
yeah.
But at the same time, it seems like,
I do
and it
give
didn't
him
seem like that big of a deal.
I do give him props. He went to Yusuf instead
Yeah.
of going to Claire. And then Yusuf was the one who was like, I'm gonna, I'm gonna take this up and make this a bigger thing. And I was kind of like just leave it, man, So
Yeah.
I'm swiping right. I kind of liked him. I did like that Yusuf called him Mini McConaughey, which I thought was a pretty good interpretation.
I think he looks like PETA from Hunger Games.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, he does. He looks like if PETA and Matthew McConaughey had a kid.
I love it.
Yeah. Swiping left or right on him?
Left.
Left. He's gone. Tyler S.
Also left.
Left. He has a mustache. That's what I wrote. Yusuf. He was the guy who left. He also ate the moon pies. He talked a lot about the dad. He said he's the best. Left. Zach C., the addiction specialist.
I don't remember much about him.
Yeah. He really liked hugging.
Oh, well,
No.
hugging's
To the left. To the left. Zach J., he brought the fart box.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about that? I think that was way worse for me than the straight jacket. Not just because of the farting box, though that does add a special touch.
Yeah.
But even just like the gimmicky getting down on one knee where you're like just anxious and you kind of cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I think about him. He's just a little too bro-y for me.
Yeah. He gone. To the
Yeah.
left. All right. So, So my students the other day in class were complaining about professors who can't run their Zoom. And now it's like so in my head that like, I'm so scared that I'm that professor the whole time I'm doing it, that I'm like bumble fingering. So
Every single time I have to recreate breakout rooms.
Anything that you want to add about the guys?
They're an interesting bunch. I'm interested to see what happens, like especially if Claire is just all in with Dale. Like, can you imagine if you were these guys? Like,
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that plays out, especially the ones that really seem into Claire. If there's a bachelorette switcheroo, like how do you shift?
Yeah, especially because they're like, I'm here specifically for you and no one else. And I feel kind of bad for Blake Moynes because he seemed like he was really into it. But
Yeah, I think it would be interesting. So
who are you picking for who she ends up with? If it's not Dale, it can't be.
If it's not Dale.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think then I'm probably rooting for Blake.
Blake?
Yeah, probably. Just because I think that they have shown the most connection for me outside of her and Dale. But I need to see more.
I'd buy it. That's my prediction. Okay, so favorite memes.
Favorite memes.
We're to our favorite part.
Funny ones.
Yes, and I grabbed the ones that you sent me. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here.
Okay.
And we want to go Google Chrome. So here are two that I found that I thought were hilarious. And this was Youssef and Bachelor Nation, basically just not a fan of Youssef.
No.
I
People
thought everyone,
people want people committed.
yes. And they want people who aren't full of themselves. Like, it's good to be confident, but you can tell when he said, I'm the best. You know, you could just tell. He's just, Claire, this one was pretty good.
So Claire says, I think I met my husband.
Chris Harrison. Like,
His response was funny.
it was fast.
It
Like,
was fast. He kind of, he comes out and he's like, did you just say this?
yeah. Whoa. So we got Claire and Chris Harrison. So another one. These are the ones you sent me.
Yes.
Straight Jacket Guy.
Oh,
We talked about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So the dog was really important to you, right?
Well, here's the thing. We have 3 dogs, and they are like pretty much like, if the dog sniffles, then they go to the vet and we pay whatever money. I hacked a piece of my thumb off on Tuesday, and so while I was live tweeting, I could barely, I couldn't tweet because of the Band-Aid. I haven't been to the doctor yet. And so I tried to super glue it today. So obviously my dogs mean a lot more than my own health. And so when they came out, and yeah.
So my sister is 35 maybe, and she's single and she has a dog. And I will tell you, if someone didn't like her dog, that would be a deal breaker for her. Absolutely.
I think just like the research around dating, you know, and it's like, if you have an important pet in your life and someone doesn't like them, it should probably be over. Like, you should probably, like, it should just get rid of them.
Yep.
Straight Jacket Guy waiting on the couch for a chance. Meanwhile, Claire's giving her first impression roast. That's a good one. Oh yeah, they stood. I always wonder about that. Do you think they must like purposely put people next to each other?
During the rose ceremonies, absolutely. I always wonder how they film some of those, because I'm also like, how does Claire remember everyone's names?
They have the names on the roses. If you watch, they pick them up and they look. I figured that out. But do you, like, one of the first seasons, the guy called, it was the actor's brother, and I can't think of the name of the actor, but he called the wrong girl's name. She came up and he was like, oh, no, not you. And it was like, and I was like, knowing me and how much of a pushover I am in life, I would have been like, well, she's coming. Like, I'm taking that one. So
that's funny.
Yep. Tall Jordan. She kept Youssef. I like it.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
Yeah. No, I don't think anyone. Although there was a glimmer of hope where I was like, Blake's gonna get it, and then it's like, Dale. So
yeah.
I think the producers love that she thinks she found her husband. People think the producers are mad, and I think they're like, this is going to be, because they don't really care who she ends up with, or I don't think they do. They care that people tune in. So
absolutely. And this gives them a slightly different storyline than they've ever had. And so, no, I think that this is probably something that they're interested in.
Yes. Bennett does look like a villain.
He does. Handsome, perfectly sculpted.
Oh yeah. Yep. So I should probably thank people for a few things. Nicole Schmidt turned in one of the things. We got questions from Connie Hansen, who I hope to have on the show someday.
Absolutely.
And Maddie Schmidt, who's a former student of mine. She wanted to know, who are these people, real actors, or are they actors? Are they real people? I looked and I can't find anything that says that they are actors now. I think there's people who are aspiring to have a career, but
I think that, you know, I do think that one thing that has changed as the show has gone on is that people tend to get sort of this Instagram celebrity out of being on the show. And so I think that there is more of a question like about, I mean, I think there's always been a question about people's intention on the show, but now it seems like it's pretty easy to get on the show, get lots of followers, and then like sell an energy drink on Instagram.
It's not like before where it was like get on, maybe date someone, see if you like them, but get a vacation. Now it's like if you can make it in the top 5, maybe you can be the next bachelor or bachelorette. And then you get a show, and then you'll get to write a book, and then maybe you'll get on Dancing with the Stars, and
Absolutely. So awesome.
Okay, last thing to end with, unless you have something else you want to talk about, but the people who went home, we got AJ, he gone, Chris, Jeremy, Jordan M, tall Jordan, short pants, Mike, Paige, Robbie, and then Tyler C. That's it. They're gone.
Yeah, they went home.
We're down to 24. I think.
I'm excited to see what happens next week. I want to know how long this plays out.
Yeah, I got a text from you, and I was a little hurt because it said the last 30 minutes is going to be good. And then it was a nothing burger. It was nothing.
I kind of thought when I saw the previews, I thought that maybe everything was going to fall apart way faster than I ever thought.
Yeah. I feel like
for a moment I was like, oh my gosh, after the first episode, is she just going to be with Dale?
Yeah. But apparently it's going to be next week. So, and somebody calls her the oldest. I will end with this. Somebody calls her the oldest bachelorette ever. They need to stop talking about she is not that old.
Nope.
There's guys that are like 26, and it's like, I think that is young to be like that motivated to hitching yourself up. Personally.
Well, I mean, it's also because we are her age, you know, so it's
that's true. When I was 26, I would have been like
just a little that, but
okay.
Yeah, her age, they got to let it go. Yeah. I love her comment though, where she kind of, you know, somebody makes a comment about her age and she's like, I stayed single this long because I didn't settle for men like you.
I like it. That's a good one.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Anything to end on?
I can't wait for next week. Bring it on. I'm
excited. Happy Friday. It's good to see you. I'm glad we record this on Friday. And then we have a big meeting later. And so we're leveling out. So we're not angry in the meeting.
Absolutely. I'm like in such a better mood. Yeah. I was a little salty this week, which I'm not too salty very often, but when I am, because I'm normally goofy, I think when I'm just even kind of a little down, people are like, what is going on with Danielle?
I rage eat peanut M&Ms. That's my, like, when I get mad, it's like, I go to the store and just like, so.
I ate like 5 candy pumpkins during a meeting yesterday.
I love it.
All right. Well, all right. You, Bill.
Claire, everyone vote. And
like subscribe to our podcast.
Yes.